Thank you for tuning in to Beacon Marketing's video loop. My name is Roger Guidance. I'm the founder and CEO of Beacon Marketing. Today, I want to continue the discussion I started last week on the relationship between branding and marketing. If you remember, last week I talked about I shared how I through Beacon Marketing entered through a collaboration called Formula to Success with a local branding company by the name of Four Directions Branding. I will include a link to Four Directions Branding in the description of this video, but Four Directions Branding is owned and operated by a couple by the name of Glenn and Maria Gefkin. I met them while networking, and we several times met for lunch and coffee and whatnot. And throughout those discussions, we were talking about things that we work on and clients and how we can work together to possibly help each other grow as you do when you network with people. Well, we found that a lot of the clients that we worked with, they struggled to understand the difference between branding and marketing. Many people saw them as the same thing. And while we like to see them, and we discussed this, we like to see them as two sides of the same coin, they really are different. They are different, distinct processes that need to be treated as such. And if you don't, you can have problems with both of them. So what we decided was to create Formula to Success as a way to help small business owners, medium-sized business owners, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, business professionals, however you choose to classify yourself. If you are interested in how branding and marketing works and how the two work together, we created Formula to Success to help you with that. To that end, we have a Facebook group, which I will put the link in the link description as well, so you can join the group. It's free to join. It's open. In the group, we're going to be sharing tips, ideas, videos. We also have some other things coming in the works, which we'll make an announcement here shortly. But it's going to be a great group. We want it to be a resource to help people who really want to know how they can grow their business through authentic branding and effective marketing. And that is really the formula to success as we view it. Authentic branding plus effective marketing equals success. That is the formula. Going back to the content, the topic of the content, last week I discussed the importance of branding to marketing from a marketer's perspective. Now, from a marketer's perspective, if you do not have a brand strategy or brand developed, you are sort of blind. You have no idea where you're going. I liken it to trying to guess what someone wants to eat from a very large menu. Saying, do you want pasta? Well, how about steak? How about a burger? How about a salad? And because you don't know what that person likes, who they are, what they want to eat, you are just guessing. You're probably going to get it wrong more often than you're going to get it right. And that's sort of what it is when you're trying to promote a business, when you don't know their strategy, you don't know who they are, because really branding is an internal process. You define yourself internally. Marketing is how you deploy that to the world. So if you do not define yourself internally, the message that you put out to the world, it's bland, it's right. You just look like everyone else. And more often, you're not even putting out the right messaging, the right image for your company, because you have not defined that. So that is the importance of branding to marketing. What I want to look at today, what we're going to look at this morning this video is the importance of marketing to branding. And really there's one big reason. There's one big way that the importance of it is it gives your work validation. You put in a ton of time and effort into your brand. When you go, whether you work with a brand strategist like Four Directions Branding, or you do a lot of legwork by going online and studying, and even then you're probably going to have to work with a designer or someone to help with your logo, to find the right colors. You have your mission statement, your core value statement. You've done all these things to define who you are. If you do not develop a marketing strategy, then you are really in a tough spot. So we're going to look at 3 specific ways that marketing can help make the most of your brand strategy. First of all, it provides structure. So the first step is it provides structure to your marketing efforts. And this is the same thing, you probably have heard this from me before, is develop a marketing strategy gives you structure. So when you go to deploy your messaging, you actually have a coherent process, or what I like to call a system of marketing, which I wrote about and created a video about, which you could check out. But When you have that strategy, you develop a system of marketing to go out there, target your clients, collect email addresses, reach out to them on a regular basis, and really deploy your messaging in an effective and efficient manner. And that's what marketing is really about, or really what it should be about. So the first way that branding really or the marketing really helps make your uh, branding work valuable is it gives you structure to your marketing efforts. The next step is it helps keep everyone on the same page. It's good that you share, if you develop your brand and you share it throughout your team, then everyone knows who you are and what you're about. But that really only matters if you have a cohesive plan to deploy that message. And if you're saying, this is how we're going to get it out there to the masses, this is how we're going to get there to our target audience. If you do not have a cohesive plan, then people are sort of scattered, and eventually the value of all that work that you put into your brand starts diminishing, because people are like, well, maybe that we lost our values, maybe things aren't working right the way they're supposed to, so they get discouraged. But if you have a marketing strategy that you pair along with your brand strategy, then everyone says, this is who we are. Keep in mind, we define it internally, so we've defined who we are internally. Our marketing, this is how we're going to put it out to the world. So it keeps everyone on the same page, from your sales staff to your marketing staff to your frontline staff to your fulfillment team. Everyone understands who you are, what you're doing, and how you're supposed to help your clients through your marketing efforts. So that keeps everyone on the same page. So the first two things is gives your process structure. It gives your way what you're doing a framework, and it puts everyone on the same page. The next way, and this is sort of an offshoot of gets everyone on the same page, is it makes everything easier from a procedural sense, because you've already defined who you are. So now what you could work on is just, how are you going to collect the email addresses? How are you going to process them? How is everything going to work? Because you've done all that internal work. So now it's just about keeping things going, keeping things on track. And trust me, from a marketing point of view, that is huge, because you're not worried. You already know your brand's covered. So right now, from a marketing point of view, it's just a matter of getting all the information and reaching out on a regular basis. So to recap, when you have your brand developed, the way that your marketing strategy makes all that work important is that it gives you structure in what you're doing. It keeps everyone on the same page. And from a procedural sense, from just going in, day out, you have identified what you need to get done. So that's essentially what it is. It's really simple. The bottom line, that what a marketing strategy does, and the reason it's so important to branding, is it makes the work that you did important and valuable. And it also informs you. The other bonus thing I'll throw in here right now is it makes it easier to go back and tweak things, because you sit there and say, you know what, maybe this languaging doesn't work as well. Maybe we should tweak a little bit of the color in our logo. You see it oftentimes when businesses update the logo, or they change something because they realize times have changed, or they do a little bit of market research. You wouldn't know that unless you're out there promoting your business and you're doing some research on that. So that's the other way it does. It can help you to really further define how your brand really should be. So that's it for me today. I'll be back next week with some more information. But until then, check out Formula to Success. Check out 4 Directions Branding. Check out the blog. It's a guest blog by 4 Directions Branding. I'll include that link as well in the description for the video. So just check us out. Let me know what you think. Contact me. Roger Gallegos, Beacon Marketing. Thank you so much. Have a great one. Bye.